Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
yeah, you are audible. You can start.
Yes. Hello, sir. My screen is visible?
Yeah, it is visible. You can start.
Okay. Hello, sir. My name is Dhruti Patel. I am from Data Engineering Group. My project name is Understanding Descriptive, Diagnostic, Predictive, and Prescriptive Models. My task name is Exploratory Data Analysis. Sorry, sir. Here are the outline of my presentation, which I am going to explain one by one. First is the introduction, then we will see dataset detail, then we will see operations, and then finding a missing value, and then anomaly detection, correlation analysis, select k-based, and data visualization, conclusion, and references. Introduction. So first question is what is the exploratory data analysis? It is one step in a machine learning. Exploratory data analysis means it analyze and understand the data set and remove unnecessary information from data set and gain useful knowledge from the data set. It is an important task in a machine learning because in machine learning various algorithm applied on a data set. So if data set is not correct or there is some mistake in data set, so the in last result will not predict correctly. So it is an important task. The primary goal of exploratory data analysis is to gain insight into data, identify potential issues, and develop a hypothesis for further analysis. The main task is to understand the data, identify pattern, relationship, anomalies among from this data set. There are many techniques available for exploratory data analysis, like finding a missing value, anomaly detection, outlier detection, clustering, data visualization, which we will see in our upcoming slide. So I perform a various operation on a credit card fraud detection dataset for exploratory data analysis. Here is my data set. My data set name is a credit card data set, which I derived from a Kaggle, and I perform a various operation on this dataset. Dataset include total 21878 row and 31 columns. So this dataset describe fraud detection, fraud transaction. So here are the some features, and a class is our target variable. So time v1 v2 up to v28 and amount is our feature or predictor variable. Using this feature or predictor variable, we will predict our target variable. The class is our target variable. Here the value 1 indicate that it is a fraud transaction and 0 indicate that it is not fraud transaction. So the operation which I perform on a data set, here are the various operation I perform on a credit card data set. So missing value, anomaly detection, correlation analysis, select k-based, and data visualization. So we will see this operation in next slide. So finding a missing value. So what is a missing value? Missing value is some missing data point in a data set due to some unavailability of uh, uh, um, information or a human error. It is an important task because if missing value is present in data set, it so the overfitting problem occur with models. So overfitting is one type of problem with a machine learning model. In this machine learning model predict correct outcome for training data, but not predict correct result for new data. So there are various techniques available for finding a missing value, and we can handle it with these operations. So some operations are deleting the row and column containing a missing value, or importing a missing value with a statistical method. I found a missing value in a credit card dataset, and I replaced it with 0. Uh, here here is here is a column of my dataset. So time v1 v2 contain a 0 missing value, but amount and class column contain a 1 missing value, so I replace it with 0. Here is my output. So amount and class contain a 0 missing value. And the second operation is the anomaly detection. Anomaly is an unexpected observation in dataset, and that have a negative impact on a performance of model. Which lead to inaccurate prediction. So I use the outlier detection for this. Outlier in a machine learning dataset can be a data point that is either a much smaller or much larger than a rest of the data. Here in a graph, three clusters, and cluster contain same data. But here the data here is the point with a red color, which is not related with these three clusters. So it is an outlier. So it is called a outlier. And there are various methods. Using this method, we can find our outlier. So I use the Z-score method for outlier detection. So Z-score method, it works by measuring how standard deviation data point is away from a mean of a data set. Here is the formula of this Z-score. So Z is equal to X minus mu upon a sigma. So X is the data point, mu is the mean of the data set, and sigma is the standard deviation of a data set. So according to this, data point is considered an outlier if a Z-score is greater than certain threshold value, and which is often set to 3 or minus. So here is some rows contain outlier. And then the next operation is a correlation analysis. Correlation analysis is the analysis of a data set. In this operation, it identify a relationship between two variable. In correlation analysis, it identify how feature variable is correlated with our target variable. Because sometime in data set there are more number of features, but some features are important in finding a target variable, but some are not important, so we have to select important features. So correlation, using this correlation we can find how feature variable is strongly correlated with our target variable. So uh, so, so using this, we can find our features, and this improve our algorithm accuracy. So here are a correlation matrix. Here are the some features which are more correlated with our target variable, which is our class variable. So time v2, v4 are strongly correlated with our class variable among 31 features. And the select k best. Select k best is another feature selection method. It is a feature selection method, and in this it is a one type of algorithm. In this algorithm, this algorithm give a rank to a feature based on their score, and it select a top k feature with the highest score. These features are more correlated with a target variable, so it is easy to find a feature variable which are more related with our target variable. So here are some features like V1 anomaly, V11, V3, V5 are more correlated with our target variable. Target variable is our class is our target variable, and which predict transaction is fraud or not. So and the next operation is a data visualization. Data visualization is a visual representation of our graphic representation of our data. There are many different type of graph. Here is a scatter plot of amount and time. Here is the histogram of amount and time of data set, and here is the box plot of amount and class. Class is our target variable. So here zero indicate that it is a not fraud transaction, and 1 indicate that it is a fraud transaction. So conclusion of the exploratory data analysis in machine learning is to gain a better understanding of data that will be used to train and test a machine learning model. And it involves examining data, looking for a pattern, trends, relationship between a variable, and identifying a potential outlier, missing value. So EDA is exploratory data analysis is to provide insight into data that can be used to inform and development of a successful machine learning model. Here are the references. Here is my code. So I perform a various operation on credit card data set. First, first step is to import library, like which are important, like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and this is my data set, credit card data set. Here is the credit card data set. And this describe a row and column of a data set. This is a description of our data set, like count, mean value, standard deviation, etc. Mean value, maximum value, standard deviation, etc. Here, using this code, this code inform a column type, like a column have a integer value, float value. So all column have a float value. Using this code, this identify missing value present in our data set. So amount and class have one missing value, and which I replace with a 0. And this is an anomaly detection code. This is a Z-score method which I applied for outlier detection. So row 51, 89, 140, 150 include outliers. So we have to remove this row from our data set for gain better accuracy. Here are the visual representation of my data set, scatter plot of time and amount. It will look like this. And here is the box plot. And here is the box plot, and it is a histogram of amount and time. Here is the box plot of amount and class. Here, using a class balance, we can identify a fraud count and not fraud transaction, like 86 fraud transaction in dataset and 21791 not fraud transaction. here a correlation analysis matrix. Here time V1, V2, up to V28 are more correlated with our class variable, our target variable, which is our class variable. So these features are important in finding fraud transaction is fraud or not. This is a k-based select k-based algorithm. So this is a feature. V6 anomaly, V11, V3 are our feature variable, which are more correlated with our target variable. So using these features, we can find our target variable. Thank you, sir. Any question?
Okay, Dhruti. Can you show me your code?
Yes, sir.
Can you show me your code?
Yes, sir.
Go on, where you talk. Okay. Scroll down.
Yes.
Scroll down now. Wait. So, yeah, just tell me about the data set. Where did you get the data set?
Here is my data set, sir.
Where did you get the data set?
Yes, sir. I download it from Kaggle and upload this data set.
Okay.
From my file.
Wait. So you have downloaded this from the Kaggle, right? So,
yes, sir.
do you know what is V1, V2 and things like that?
Yes, sir. V1, V2, V3 are a transform features because of some security issue.
Like what do they represent?
They represent their value like balance or etc. But it is a transform in a 0, 1, 2 format, like transition, how many time transition is done or etc.
Okay. Go down a little bit. Okay, scroll down more. Wait, go to the describe function.
It describe a data set.
Info function. I am asking for the describe function. Yeah. So why do we need count, mean, and standard deviation? What is the need of finding this?
Sir, mean and standard deviation are useful in outlier detection, for finding outlier detection.
Okay. So scroll down more. Scroll down more. Yeah, scroll down. Okay, wait. So what are these printed values?
Sir, this is a row which contain an outlier 51, 89, 140, 150. Okay. This row contain an outlier. So we have to remove. What do you mean
by outlier? What do you mean by an outlier?
Outlier means it is some unnecessary some data point which are far from our cluster.
Okay, so and how are you deciding your cluster?
Sir, for this Z-score method.
Okay, so you are using mean and standard deviation. Are you sure about that?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no issues. You can go to next. Scroll down more. Okay, scroll down. See, when you are giving a presentation on EDA, so it is important that you start by giving context on what the data set is, where did you get the data set, and yes, what are the features of your data set. Like yes, give a simple explanation or like a definition on the data set. Like I got it from here, this data set is from SDFC and it has this many data, whatever it is. Okay, so give yes, a context on the data set.
Yes.
And then start by saying why are you performing some of the activities. So if you're finding for the null data points, why are you looking for the null data points?
Yes, sir.
Why is it actually important for your data set? In some of the data set, it may not be important to remove the null data points. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let us know why you are actually looking for the some of the step. Like you are doing something, say
Yes.
you are finding mean or standard deviation, finding anomaly or something. Why you are actually doing it? What is your
Yes.
thought process behind doing that thing? Okay. And
Yes,
it
sir.
is important that you give your presentation in this way so that it looks like you are giving presentation based on a timeline so that we know that you are the one who actually performed the presentation. Okay. Then
Yes,
your
sir.
presentation will not look like you are just giving definition on some of the topics like water outlier, what is anomaly and something. And you are
Yes.
not just showing the output of code and not actually explaining it. When you give a presentation, like you are giving a timeline of,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so this was my thought process, this is
Yes.
what I did, and this is what I got, and based
Oh.
on this information my next step will be this is what I
Ah.
did and that is what I got. Give me a
Yes.
presentation like this. Okay,
Yes.
this will cover everything that you have done in your presentation.
Yes, sir.
This presentation was not properly explained, I would say. Okay, like you did show the outputs and everything, but it was not well explained. I think it
Yes,
can
sir.
be much more improved. See,
Yes.
the way you have formulated your presentation is good, but somewhere during the explanation part, it was lacking something. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, okay, work on that part. Other than that, I
Yes, sir.
would say it is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where did you get the code?
Sorry, sir.
Where did you get the code?
Yes, sir.
Where did you get the code?
Sir, I got from many sites.
See, this is the important thing. When you say you got the code from many sites, you need to give proper references on that. Okay. And let us
Yes.
know that this is the site where you got that particular code.
Yes.
And when you get a code, this is what happens. You are not able to properly explain something. Okay.
Yes.
So this is why it is important that you understand what is going on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So work on that part. Work on your basics, then it will be fine. Okay. There are many
Yes.
basic things that you couldn't really explain.
Yes, sir.
Other than that, it is okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll move on to next question. Thank you, Dhruti, for your presentation. Now we will move on. You can stop the screen share now. You will receive this code by tomorrow or by tonight. Okay, then Nikita Waghmare.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Good evening, sir. My name is Nikita Waghmare. I am from Cloud Computing Group, and today is my presentation on cloud computing application in stock market investing. Let us see what is cloud computing. It is on-demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power, without direct active management by the user. It is the delivery of computing services, including services, storage, database, networking, software analysis, and intelligence over the internet. Let us see the advantages. It provides usability and accessibility. You can access your data if you are using cloud computing from any time, from anywhere. It provides security. It is cost efficient. You have to pay only the service you are using. It is convenient for sharing the file and automation. Let us see what is cloud computing in stock market investment. Cloud computing has revolutionized the way investors and traders analyze and stock. Cloud computing based service provides access to real-time market data, news, analysis tools, allowing investors to make more informed decisions and execute traders faster. It's allow investors to stock and other securities on multiple exchanges and markets around the world using the variety of trading algorithm and strategies. Key component. Algorithmic trading engine. It is the solution core where the example trading strategies are created, tested, operated using historical time data, managing interaction with other solution components, and provides user with analytics and reporting capacities. Market data adapter. It feeds engine with different data types such as the real-time market, historical price data, and other. Exchange broker adapter. It manages the interaction with the exchange or broker, for example, place or revoke order, get status, and other tasks. Data storage. It provides the durable and secure data repository used by algorithmic trading engine. AWS service for cloud-based stock market investment, data exchange. AWS data exchange, easy for AWS customer to find, subscribe, and use of third-party data in the cloud, AWS cloud. AWS S3. In the AWS S3, we have to create the bucket. In that bucket, we have to upload the object. In that, you can store the image, audio file, zip file, and many others. Amazon Athena. It is an interactive query service that makes it easy to analyze data directly with the Amazon S3 using standard SQL. Amazon SageMaker. It provides the tool to build, train, deploy machine learning model for predictive analyze application. Amazon QuickSights. It provides easy to use tools to build visualization, perform ad hoc analysis, get business insight from the data, and share the result with the others. Let us see the advantages of stock market investing. Business agility, leveraging the ability to quick and easily access technology, pay-as-you-go model, security, and data and analysis. This is the screenshot of my task. In that, you have to create your AWS account, and in the task, I have given the one file. You have to download it. Then you have to go to AWS Cloud Formation, select the region, Virginia, click on Create Stack with new resources, then select template is ready and upload the template file. Then you have to upload that file. In second step, you have to go to AWS Cloud Formation resources. Notice the AWS bucket name as shown. You have to create the AWS algorithm trading. Use this bucket in the moment to copy the data from the AWS data exchange. In the third step, you have to subscribe the 20 years of end of day stock data of top 10 US companies by market cap. Next step, you have to go to the notebook instance, check the status is in service. Then you have to open the Jupyter file. In that, the code is given already. You have to see the code is running or not successfully. Run that code. Then we are going to query the data stored in the His Data Daily folder of your S3 bucket using Amazon Athena. Then click on Workshop. On the top menu, select the work group, click the switch work group, click on Query Editor, insert the following query and run that query. And this is the Amazon QuickSight. We have selected a cluster bar chart and this is showing the result. Conclusion, in this project, we have seen how quickly and easily import trading data using Amazon S3, done data analysis using Athena, and backtest trading strategies on the important data using Amazon SageMaker notebook instance. This architecture, it is a modular and analysis to data use trading strategy tested. AWS Data Exchange can be used to get different dataset, Jupyter Notebook can be updated or replaced with other notebook as required. These are the references. Sir, do you have any question? Thank you.
Okay. Can you go show me your slide? Slide number 9, I believe. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this alpha vintage API that you have, are you getting it directly from the AWS or somewhere third party?
It is directly we are getting from the AWS.
Okay. So in AWS, you can get the data set.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No issue. You go to the next one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no issue. I just wanted to know information. Okay, see, it was certainly a good presentation. It was more focused toward the actual demonstration. Okay. Yeah, it is fine. Okay, it is okay. But I believe it can be more enhanced with respect to the story. So when you are giving a story, you can try making a scenario, like in what scenario would you like to have a cloud-based stock trading application? Okay. And how does it actually make it better with respect to the already that we already have, like a local infrastructure or something that is actually on an infrastructure. Okay. You can focus more towards that. That will be much more informative. Okay. Because see, with respect to your task, your demo was really well made. Your demo explained everything correctly. All the points were well explained with respect to AWS. Also, the worrying code was shown. But I believe with respect to story, it can be more improved. Okay. Or when you are giving a presentation, try to give you more information. In your task, we are not expecting you to give more information, but in your presentation, we are expecting you to give more information on a certain topics that may not be directly related to your task. Say if like having a distinguish between an infrastructure versus cloud is something that is not in your task, but we can expect it from a presentation so that your viewers will have much better idea of why actually we are doing the cloud thing. Okay. Because when you are working in a cloud, it is also important for you to let us know why cloud. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Other
Next
than
time
that, I would say it is okay. You see, well, it was well explained, well informative. But yeah, from story perspective, it can be improved. Your explanation was good.
Okay, sir. Next
It was good.
time I will improve.
Yeah, thank you, Nikita.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then we'll move on to Muskaan. Yeah, Muskaan. So you were scheduled for data type variable and operator in JavaScript. Is that correct? We can't hear you. And can you turn your cam on, please, Muskaan? Hello, Muskaan. Hello, Muskaan, you are not audible. Can you turn your cam on for the confirmation? Hello, Muskaan Khan. Can you confirm in the chat if you can hear me? Because I can't hear you. Okay, no issues. You can turn your cam on, and I will not with you if it is possible. Please fix your camera then. Try joining from the different devices or join from a different device. Because if your camera is not working, then we can't have your presentation. When you are giving a presentation, it is important that your camera is recorded because that will be later analyzed and reviewed by the ones who are. If your camera is not working, then we will be unable to verify if it is actually you who is giving the presentation. So please fix your camera. You can give your presentation on Tuesday if you want some time to fix your camera, no issues. Okay, so anyone has any general queries or presentation, you can raise your hand. We'll wait for her to join back by the time.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, sir. So I'll just switch on the camera. Just a second.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Good evening, sir. My name is Muskaan. And is it okay if I show in this way?
No, that is not okay. Your camera should be visible and your screen should be sharing because
Because I do not
sometimes
have
your camera is not properly recorded in the Zoom, so it is important that you share the screen.
yes, I do not have this presentation on my phone. That's the issue.
You can do one thing. You can use the phone's camera for showing your video, and then you can join with the laptop and give the presentation via the laptop. Like share the
Sure.
screen via laptop.
Sure, sir, I'll
That
do
can be
that.
done.
Just a second.
You join from the both devices. Use one device for your camera and the other for the sharing screen. You can use your mobile's mic for also giving the presentation because I believe the mic is also not working in your laptop.
Yes, sir, sure. I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
So my topic is JavaScript data types and variables. So whenever we learn a programming language, new programming language, we need to be very familiar with its basics and the fundamentals. So I believe that the basic and the fundamentals of JavaScript are its data type, variable, and operators. So I'll just give it a look. So as we know that JavaScript provides different types of data types. There are basically two data types. First, categorized into two data types. The first one is primitive and the second one is non-primitive. We do have 7 types of data in a primitive type and only one, that is the object one in non-primitive type. The first one is JavaScript number. It holds the number value. Then we have JavaScript strings that hold the strings value and which is also surrounded by quotes. Then we have big int for usually big integers and big numbers. Then we have JavaScript boolean that is for true and false. Then we have the undefined one. Then we have for null. And then we have for JavaScript symbol. And we have JavaScript object that is the reference data type. And I would like to go to the JavaScript operator type. We have these types of operators, that is assignment, arithmetic, comparison, logical, bitwise, and string operator. So what assignment operator does is it assigns a value. And what arithmetic operator does is it performs calculation, that is plus, minus, or multiplication sign. That comes under arithmetic operators. Then we have JavaScript comparison operator that does the comparison greater than, lesser than, equal to. Then we have the logical operators. Then we have the bitwise operators. And we also have a JavaScript string operator that is used for concatenation of strings. And then we have JavaScript variable. Variable are basically like a container that stores the name of the particular data type. So basically, variables are differentiated into two categories, that are the local variable and the global variable. A global variable has global scope, which means it can be defined anywhere in your JavaScript code. And local variable will be visible only within a function that where it is defined. So within the body of function, a local variable takes precedence over a global variable with the same name. Now, if you declare a local variable or a function parameter with the same name as a global variable, you effectively hide the global variable. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. I believe this is your first presentation.
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay. See, this is why we tell everyone that if it is your first presentation, make sure you watch the previous meeting recording or join meetings every day and see presentations so that you don't make mistakes that previous interns have made. First thing is you have a lot of text in your slide. Try to reduce the amount of text you have, and you can do that by using multiple slides. Don't be don't think that you only need to have less than 20 slides or a slides of like 15 slides. You can use as much slides as you need. Okay, that is not an issue, and you can take as much time as you want for your presentation. So make sure you focus on the readability of your slides. And other than that, when you are explaining something, it is important that you actually explain that topic instead of saying, I believe there was some bitwise operator. You said, this is the bitwise operator, and then you move on to the next subtopic. That's not how you should do it. You should explain it deeply. You need to explain it in depth so that explain it like that so that if your teacher explains you, do you think you will be able to understand whatever you have presented? No, because you didn't explain it in depth. Explain it in depth. Okay. Take your presentation seriously. Okay, because you receive score for these things, and try to make story. So like give various scenarios, like in which scenarios you can use which kind of operator, or what is the scenario of using a global scope or local scope, what are the issues you can have and why actually scopes are needed. You can touch on those things to create your story. See, whenever you want to create a story, search on why this thing was innovated. So why bitwise operators are needed, why assignment operators are needed. Then you will be able to build a story out of it. And it is important that you have a proper conclusion slide, a Q&A slide, and a reference slide, because whatever information you have, you must have taken reference from somewhere or have done your research. So it is important that you give those references in your presentation.
Sure, sir. I'll keep that in.
Yeah. So you have any other presentations?
Sir, I do have one. It's for Dr. Sir's website. It's on
but I believe we are only scheduled for the one presentation, right? So you can.
Not now, sir. Not now, sir.
Okay, no issue. So next time, keep this in mind that you are following the proper protocol. You can watch the previous meeting recording. We have a lot of doctor's appointment presentations. You can search for them and then prepare based on that. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Muskaan. You can stop your camera now, and you can also stop the screen recording. You will receive your score for this presentation by evening or by tomorrow.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I do have a question.
Yeah,
that I need a completion certificate. So what is the minimum presentation that I need to give?
Minimum presentation, there is no such thing as minimum presentation. You need to give presentation for all of your tasks that you have completed.
So, sir, it's urgent. I need the completion certificate by end of this month. Will it be possible?
You should have think about this previously. Okay, when in the welcome session, I believe we have told you that you need to give presentations as soon as your task is done.
Okay.
So if your one presentation is done, after you get the score, you can try asking the technical chat, and if they think that can be given, we will certainly provide it. Other than that, it is only possible if they also continue.
Okay.
Okay, so you can talk to technical support for that.
Sure.
And if you want, you can talk to them and schedule your presentation for all the pending presentation off record. Like tomorrow morning or on Tuesday, we will have your presentation. And then I will send you score for all the presentation. Then you can ask for the completion letter.
Okay, sir.
That can also be done. So you have to talk to technical support on that. Okay. And if it is any presentation schedule related issue, you can directly contact me for issues.
Okay, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Muskaan. Then you can leave if you want. And so, Akansha and Sambhavi, you have any presentation or general queries you guys can ask?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Akansha, have you given your presentation to the Sarah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you don't have any general query, you can leave now. We will stop.
What, sir?
If you don't have any general queries, you can leave.
Sir, I can't hear properly.
Do you have any kind of general queries?
Sir, I have Google crawler and I have 2 tasks. I want to present it, sir.
Are you scheduled for it?
Sir, I have scheduled now.
What is your email?
Sir, Akanksha Patil 031@gmail.com.
No, I don't think you are scheduled right now. You will receive an email with the date. You can join on that date and give your presentation.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Akanksha.
Yes.
Then you can leave if you want. We'll stop here for the day. I believe all the
Okay,
presentation are done and no one is remaining for the general queries. So thank you for joining everyone. We will stop here
Yes.
for the day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.